A very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the introduction and transportation of air pollution. As you know that air pollution is very much harmful to our environment, to our climate. So today we will see how different kinds of air pollutants can be originated, how it will transport from one place to another place. And now also we can see, or today we will see what are the past events related to the air pollution. So before starting the topic, I would like to start with the content of today's lecture. First, we will see the history of air pollution, then what are different air episodes and the sources of air pollution and the types of different air pollutants. Okay, so I'm going to start with the air pollution episodes. So introduction of chemicals, different kinds of particulate matter or the biological materials that cause the harm or the discomfort to the human or other living organisms or damage the natural environment. And it may be considered as the uh, problem to the living organisms. It may be the problem to that will affect or that will damage the natural environment. So it may have above background level, and the sources for air pollution may be anthropogenic or natural. In some cases, the anthropogenic factors are responsible for the air episodes pollution, or in some cases, natural processes or natural activities are responsible for the origination of the air pollution. So now we will see different historical events, or you can say the past events occurred in the history related to the air episodes or related to the air pollution. In AD 61, the Roman philosopher Cienza reported the heavy air of the room and from the stink of the smoky chimneys thereof, which being stirred, poured forth whether pestilential vapors and soot they had enclosed in them. I felt an alteration of my disposition. Coal burning caused the air pollution in England under King Henry II, and it was occurred in 1306. Okay, and it was just next due to the industrial revolution. These are the few well-known air pollution episodes around the world in the 20th century. One was very started like in December 1930 in the Meuse Valley of the Belgium, that causes the temperature inversion, and the pollutant responsible for this air pollution episode is SO2. Okay, Los Angeles, USA had faced a air pollution episode in July 1943 that causes the low wind circulation, and it was because of the smoke. Then Donora, USA, they had they had faced air pollution episodes in October 1948, and that causes the weather inversion. And sulfur dioxide was the major pollutant for that air pollution episode. Then London, England, in 1952, they have also a kind of air pollution episodes that causes the subsidence inversion, and it was because of the sulfur dioxide and smoke. New York City, USA, in December 1962, they had faced air pollution episodes, and that caused the shallow inversion because of the sulfur dioxide that causes the 269 excess deaths. Then in India, Bhopal in 1984, and there was a air pollution episodes because of the accident, and that causes more than 2,000 deaths. Then Chernobyl, Ukraine is also having a accidental air pollution episodes due to radioactivity and due to the leakage of the gas from the nuclear reactor in 1986. And again after that, Africa having Lake News is a kind of air pollution episode due to some natural processes that released a high concentration of carbon dioxide in the environment that caused the death of 1700. Okay, then in Malaysia in 1997, because of the forest fire, there was a air pollution episode, and the number of deaths are unknown to us. So I am going to start with the Meuse Valley, 1930. It was occurred in the first week of the December 1930. A thick mist lay over the large part of the Belgium. The area around Angis was the worstly affected by this kind of thick mist layover. On December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, several thousand cases of the acute pulmonary attacks have been reported and 60 deaths were reported. It causes the poisonous products in the waste gas of the many factories in the valley, majorly the sulfur dioxide. It resulted in above freezing point during the day, while at night it measured up to 10 degrees Celsius below, while the wind speed was only 1 to 3 kilometer per hour. So this was the photograph of that event that occurred in the Belgium in 1930. Then in Los Angeles in 1943, on July 6th, it becomes one of the first cities in the US to experience the severe air pollution problem, then called that was called as a gas attacks. It was the accumulation of auto exhaust and emissions from local petroleum refineries resulting into smoke. This was the photograph captured of that event of the California. Then Cleveland gas explosion in 1944. It was occurred on the afternoon of Friday, October 20. It was resulted as a gas leak and explosion and fire that killed 130 people and destroyed 1 square mile area on Cleveland, Ohio state. Storage of the tank number 4 holding the liquefied natural gas in the state East Ohio Gas Company's tank. It emits a vapor that poured from a seam on the side of the tank. The tank was located near the Lake Erie, and winds from the lake pushed the vapor into a mixed-use section of the Cleveland, where it dropped into the sewer line via the catch basins located in the street gutters. As the gas mixture flowed and mixed with air and severe gas, the mixture is ignited. In the ensuing explosion, manhole covers launched skyward as jets of the fire erupted from the depths of the sewer lines. It was the photograph captured during that event. Then in Donori smoke, it was done in 1948. It was an air pollution event occurred in the Donora, Pennsylvania of USA. It's a dispersal of fluoride emission from the zinc smelting and the blast furnaces. Other sources containing the sulfur, carbon monoxide, and heavy metal dust that were trapped by the weather condition. Out of total population of 40,000 people, 20 died within 14 hours, 600 died after that, and 1,400 sick having some medical issues because of this event. This was the it is the photograph that was captured during that event. Then in Mexico in 1950, the city of 20,000 people located about 210 kilometers northwest of the Mexico, leading the oil producing district and the site of the several oil field installation. A catastrophic exposure episode involving the release of the large quantities of hydrogen sulfide gas, and the malfunction of the waste gas flare resulted in the release of large quantities of unburned hydrogen sulfide into the environment or atmosphere. And this unburned gas, aided by a low level temperature inversion and light early morning breeze, was carried to the residential area adjacent to the plant area. Within a matter of 3 hours, 320 persons were hospitalized and 20 were killed in that event. So, moving to the next slide, Great Smoke of the London in 1952. It was collected airborne pollutants mostly from the use of coal to form a thick layer of the smoke over the city, and it caused the major disruption due to the effect on the visibility and even penetrated the indoor areas. The medical reports estimated that 4,000 had died prematurely and 10,000 were made ill due to the effects on the human respiratory tract. It is considered as the worst air pollution event in the history of the United Kingdom and the most significant in terms of its impact on the environmental research, government regulation, and the public awareness of the relationship between air pollution, air quality, and the health. This was the photograph captured during that event. Now in India, The Bhopal had faced a kind of disaster related to the air pollution in 1984. In the midnight of 2 to 3rd December 1984, a poisonous vapor burst from the tall stalks of the Union Carbide pesticide plant. 40 tons of the toxic gases had leaked from the Carbide Bhopal plant and spread throughout the city. The cause was the contamination of methyl isocyanate, that was also known as MIC, from the storage tank within with water carrying catalytic materials. Of the million people living in the Bhopal at that time, more than 2,000 died immediately, one fourth of the actual figure, and as many as 30,000 were injured. In addition, about 7,000 animals were affected, of which around 1,000 were killed in that event. It was photograph captured in that event, during that event in the Bhopal. Chernobyl disaster in 1986. The Chernobyl accident in 1986 was the first result of the flawed reactor design that was operated within inadequately trained personnel. The resulting steam explosion and the fire released at least 5% of the radioactive reactor core into the atmosphere, and the downwind. Two Chernobyl plant workers died on the night of the accident, and a further 28 people died within a few weeks as a result of the acute radiation poisoning. Then in Lake Yos, Lake Yos in Africa, 1986, a sudden outgassing of the carbon dioxide had occurred at a lake on August 21, 1986. A levenic eruption occurred at the Lake Nyos, which triggered the sudden release of about 1.6 million tons of the carbon dioxide, and this cloud rose at nearly 100 kilometers per hour. The gas spilled over the northern lip of the lake, displacing all the air and suffocating the living creatures. Okay, and in that air pollution event, around 1,700 people were died within the 25-kilometer radius of the lake, and mostly they are from the rural areas near to that lake, as well as it also affected the 3,500 livestock in that region. It was the photograph. This is the photograph captured during that event, the Lake Neos, as it appeared less than 2 weeks after the eruption. August 29, 1986, a cow suffocated by gas from the Lake Neos. So these are some past events in the history. These are some events occurred due to the worst air pollution condition in the past events in the history. Then in recently in 2005, Malaysia having such kind of air pollution episode. A week-long choking smoke-like haze was over the Malaysia on August 11, 2005. This was a comeback of the haze crisis, which last hit Malaysia in September 1997. It causes the hotspot, that these are the zones with the high temperature level as seen via the satellite imagery in the Malaysia and the Indonesia. Okay, lingering smoke from forest fire on the Indonesian island of the Sumatra are identified as the primary cause for this activity or this event. The farmers regularly burn the scrub and forest to clear land during the dry season for agricultural purposes. This is the photograph captured during that event in Malaysia in 2005. So now we are going to see what are the sources of different air pollutants and what are the classification, what are the categories of different air pollutions. So as we know that air pollution may be caused because of natural processes as well as because of anthropogenic activities. The natural sources for the air pollution, or the uh, you can say the natural sources, or you can say the natural activities which are responsible for the air pollution, are considered as pollen grains, because of some volcanic eruptions, volcanic activities, the forest fires, dust storms, spores, bacteria, and other microorganisms. These are the major sources of the pollution due to natural processes. And when we talk about the anthropogenic or man-made activities, man-made processes for the air pollution, that will include That includes the industrial units, some thermal power plants, automobile exhaust, fossil fuel burning, the mining of the nuclear, mining of the fossil fuel, or you can say the coal mining. Then it may be because of the explosion in the nuclear reactors and because of some radioactivities. So air pollution episodes can be occurred or can be originated from the natural processes as well as the man-made processes. It is also having nature of stationary as mobile. The air pollution episodes may be the stationary nature or mobile nature. It may have different point sources. The point sources having large stationary source, whereas it is having the area source, which is having a small stationary source, and the mobile source with identified routes. The line source having the mobile source with the definite routes. Okay, this is the graph, this is the figure showing the air toxic emissions from the on-road mobile sources, or you can say the vehicles moving on the road. So the light duty gasoline car having the contribution of around 30% into the total air toxic emission. Then light duty gasoline trucks, SUV, and minivan is having 44% contribution to the air toxic emission. Other gases having 2% contribution. Heavy duty diesel vehicles having 10%. Then heavy duty gasoline vehicles having 14% contribution to the air toxic emissions. So this is the diagram. This diagram is showing how different types of on-road mobile sources, how different types of moving vehicles on the road contributed to the air toxic emissions in the area. Okay. Air pollutants are a kind of substance that is a dwelling into the environment either temporarily or permanently. It alters the environment by interfering with the health as well as the comfort or the food chain, or by interfering with the property values of the people. A pollutant can be solid. It may have different size. The solid pollutants may have different sizes. It may have some large. It may have large size, or it may have the size of the submolecular particles or teeny particles. It may be in the form of liquid or the gases. Okay, and pollutants may be originated. It may be produced from natural or anthropogenic activities, or it may be originated from both, either natural or anthropogenic activities or anthropogenic processes. It is estimated that the anthropogenic sources have changed the composition of global air by less than 0.01 percentage. Even a small change can have a significant adverse effect on the climate ecosystem and the species on the planet. So, moving to the next slide, now we are going to see what are the classification of the pollutants. How many types of pollutants exist in the environment? The pollutants may be categorized into two categories. One is primary pollutant, second one is secondary pollutant. The primary pollutants are a kind of pollutants which are emitted directly from the identifiable source, or you can say it may be the kind of pollutants which are emitted from some definite source, whereas the secondary pollutants are the produced are a kind of pollutants which may be produced in the atmosphere when different chemical reactions, different kinds of chemical processes takes place among different kinds of primary pollutants. When primary pollutants reacts with each other through some chemical reaction, it can release or it can produce second type of pollutants. It may produce different types of pollutants. This is known as secondary pollutants. So the pollutants may be of two types, primary or secondary, and these are the major primary pollutants that includes the particulate matter, PM, sulfur dioxide, SO2, nitrogen oxides, NO2, volatile organic compounds or VOC, carbon monoxide, CO or carbon dioxide, CO2, and the lead. These are the major primary pollutants. And this graph, this figure is showing the proportion of different primary pollutants. The major contribution is from carbon monoxide around 9.1%. Then sulfur dioxide is having 16.4% contribution. Particulate matters is having 6% contribution to the total primary pollutants. Volatile organics having 13.6%. Nitrogen oxides is having 14.8% of the total contribution to the primary pollutants. And in the next graph, in the next data is showing what are the sources of the origination of different primary pollutants. So all kind of primary pollutants, different primary pollutants having the major source as a transportation. Over out of all the primary pollutants, 46.2% primary pollutants are coming from the transportation, from the vehicles moving on the roads. Then 9% is from miscellaneous. Then 2.5% of the total primary pollutants can be released by some solid waste disposal. Then 15% is because of the industrial processes, and 27.3% is because of the stationary sources, as well as the combustion of the fossil fuels. So major contribution is the transportation. The major contribution to the release of the primary pollutants, the major contribution to the formation of primary pollutants are from the transportation or different vehicles moving on the roads. So this graph is showing what are the proportion of different primary pollutants and what are the major sources of different primary pollutants. Okay, carbon monoxide is having one of the major contributing primary pollutants, and transportation, the vehicles, different cars and other trucks and moving vehicles on the roads, having the major contribution in the origination of different primary pollutants. It is around 46.2%. These are the sources of primary pollutants. When we talk about the anthropogenic sources, so anthropogenic sources includes combustion process, the chemical processes, nuclear or atomic processes, roasting, heating or refining processes, mining activities, quarrying and the farming. These are some of the major sources of the primary pollutants due to some anthropogenic activities or man-made activities. The natural processes responsible for the production, for the origination of primary pollutants includes the volcanic activities, different volcanoes, eruption, the breaking seas, pollens, terpenes, fire, blowing dust, bacteria and viruses. And out of all the natural activities, out of all the natural processes responsible for the origination of primary pollutants, forest fire, blowing dust, and bacteria and viruses may be also considered as a anthropogenic activities, because forest fire may be originated from some anthropogenic activities. Blowing dust and bacteria and viruses can also be released. The bacteria and viruses can also be done because of some anthropogenic activities. So these three natural processes can also be considered as a man-made activities for the origination of primary pollutants. Secondary pollutants, some primary air pollutants react with one another due to some chemical reaction because of some chemical processes, and they form different kinds of pollutants. This is known as secondary pollutants. So secondary pollutants are a kind of pollutants that are derived from the primary pollutants through some chemical reaction. Okay, so this diagram and this photograph is showing how different sources are responsible for the production of primary pollutants. It may have vehicular activities because of the moving vehicles on the road. They can also have the contribution in the formation of primary pollutants. Okay, some gases coming out from the industries, factories, they can also be responsible for the origination of primary pollutants. Because of some natural activities due to volcanic eruption, they can also release some kind of primary pollutants in the atmosphere. So you see here, these are different primary pollutants, including carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, SO2, NO2, and it is having carbohydrates and most suspended particles. Okay, and when these primary pollutants, as we know that here, we are having different primary pollutants. Different primary pollutants are there from different sources. It is having carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbohydrates. And when these kind of primary pollutants, these primary pollutants reacts with one another, they react, when they react with each other through some chemical process, because of some chemical reaction, they will create, or they will produce some secondary pollutants, which is written here like SO3, HNO3, H3SO4, H2O2, ozone, O3, PANS, most NO3s, and SO4 salts. Okay, so this figure is showing major sources responsible for the formation of primary pollutants, and how different primary pollutants reacts with one another, reacts with each other to form different kinds of to form secondary type of pollutants, which is known as secondary pollutants, SO3, HNO3, H3SO4, H2O2, and so on. Okay, so this diagram is having complete picture of today's lecture, how different sources responsible for the primary pollutants, and how primary pollutants reacts with each other to form new pollutants, that is known as secondary pollutants. So atmospheric sulfuric acid is one of the most important example of a secondary pollutant. The air pollution in the urban and industrial areas is often called as the smog, and because of the photochemical smoke, a noxious mixture of the gases and particles is produced when a strong sunlight triggers the photochemical reactions in the atmosphere, and the major component of the photochemical smoke is the ozone. So you see, the secondary pollutants are more dangerous in comparison to the primary pollutants, because they are having the characteristics, they are the mixture of different primary pollutants. So it's a noxious mixture of gases or particles that will be produced when the solar radiation or the electromagnetic radiation coming from the sun triggers some kind of photochemical reaction in the atmosphere. Okay, and ozone is one of the major component of the byproduct of these kind of photochemical reactions in the atmosphere. So today it's all about the air pollutions, different kinds of air pollution level, history of the air pollution, different kinds of pollutants, and origination of different kinds of primary and secondary pollutants. Today we have discussed some past events, as well as how different kinds of air pollutants will be originated from different sources, how it will be categorized into primary and secondary sources. And in the next class we will discuss about different meteorological applications. We will discuss different meteorological parameters, how different meteorological factors or parameters affects the air pollution, and how these are the factors, different atmospheric factors, meteorological factors are responsible for the transportation of different air pollutants. So thank you very much for today's class, and in the next class we will discuss some new topic related to the meteorological parameters responsible for the transportation of air pollution. Thank you very much.